in the world, in Nicolas, going up against Tom Lees.
What a matchup this is. Two giants in this tournament, two favourites for this tournament in England and Argentina. Of course, the format's slightly different now we're into the quarterfinals instead of the group stages. Both players will play their 1v1 games, and if the points are tied after those two 1v1 games, then we would go into a 2v2 scenario. However, if both players can get their jobs done, they can move on to the semi-finals.
Now, we were talking about a tactical approach for teams and nations as far as these knockout stages are concerned. Tom Lees, you have to say he's the underdog in this one, going up against the #1 ranked player at the moment on the PlayStation 4.
اتوقع نيكولاس هو اللي يكسب المباراة ديت.
Some of these players are going to be involved in these early games. Maybe just look for those draws if their opponent's slightly more favoured, and just leaving it in the hands of the more established players, should we say, in the second leg. It's a risky tactic, but it's something we might see.
It's definitely something that will be in the back of Tom's mind of if maybe he's being overwhelmed by Nicolas and there's a lot of attacking pressure, he might start to consider the fact that a draw would help out.
تيكز في التيم ده. زميل تيكز هو اللي بيلعب الماتش ده وبعدين تيكز هيلعب الماتش اللي بعده.
Well defended though by Nicolas. And for Argentina, what a game this is, and what an opportunity it is to knock out a team who the highest total points in the group stages, as well as a pretty incredible goal difference as well.
An incredible goal difference, but speaking of incredible goals, Portugal of course had that last minute winner in the group stages, and they've started things off with a bang against Spain as well in the quarterfinals. As Rastarata showing what he's made of on the PlayStation.
Yeah, fantastic stuff from Rastarata, and Portugal taking the lead. And there is another goal to report as well. Brazil, who have been so good. France, who had to wait for results of other games to find themselves in this position in the quarterfinals. Have gone behind. That penalty was converted from the spot, but back here to England versus Argentina, and Tom Lees on the attack. But again, Nicolas makes standing challenge there to win the ball back.
And that's a huge game over there as well. Brazil versus France. I mean, you look at the two sides of the bracket, and Argentina versus England, Brazil versus France, they are the favourites. But then you've got the curveballs of the likes of Mexico that could really throw a spanner in the works, for example. I mean, Portugal, after what they've done, so exciting these quarterfinals.
Well, here is that goal, that penalty that was converted for Brazil to take the lead over France. Cristiano Ronaldo, the man to step up into the bottom left corner, simple as you like. And Brazil have to be the form team, and speaking of form teams, Tor has to be one of the form players in the tournament at the moment.
Well, you were saying how England had the most points total. They did, and Brazil just behind them. Both England and Brazil with 9 wins in their group stage, which really is quite phenomenal if you look at what teams they had to go up against during those stages. But it's England's goal difference that really impressed me. They were plus 23 after their games in the groups. It's whether they can carry on that form now into the knockout stages, because this is crunch time. This is when it matters. And Tom hasn't looked too intimidated by the scenario that's been placed in front of him here.
Well, Tom's been playing some phenomenal FIFA, but so has Nicolas as well. So it is going to be a tight game here between these two players. Wouldn't surprise me to see not too many risks being taken by either the competitors here, especially in this first leg, until that first goal has been scored.
Now, this really has been the kind of breakout tournament for Tom. We knew he was a top 100 player, knew what he was capable of in FIFA 19, but qualifying and being a part of the eLions was his chance to break into that kind of top 60 in the Global Series rankings, and by getting to the quarterfinals, he secured himself 450 points already, which is, it puts him around 60th place, to be honest. So he'll be searching to try and get even further with England here.
And Nicolas is looking for a ball towards the back post, and Marcelo wins the header there at the back post, and Tom Lees can come away here. But I think we should just highlight how good Nicolas has been this season.
I mean, he's a man who has 7,010 Global Series ranking points, which kind of speaks for itself. He's had tournament wins, he's won licensed qualifying events. He was the first PlayStation winner ever in a in 2 years in a cross-console final. The first time ever on FIFA 19 anyway.
And that is the challenge that stands in front of England. So Nicolas and Argentina now coming forward through the midfield. Nicolas with a very deliberate style of play. Ronaldo comes back to do some defensive work, but we have another goal to report here. Portugal, they were 1 down in this game, but Mbappe finds the man who has been doing the business for Portugal. And it's a second here for Portugal now. They lead by 2.
And I'm not surprised to see Portugal shining with this success. I mean, Rastarata 12th in the world, Tuga 7th in the world. They should be up there in the quarterfinals, if not going on further to those semi-finals.
Well, here's a chance here for England coming forward. Tom Lees is in a dangerous position. Neymar around the edge of the box. Releases a time shot. The follow-up shot took a bit of a deflection off of the defender, into the hands of David De Gea. Simple save for him.
لا مساعد خرج يا
First real chance of the game there. Going to Tom Lees, having found that good position down.
مساعد خرج.
Tom just needs to be careful when he does go forward that he doesn't
السعودية كلها خرجت. مساعد خرج وخالد خرجوا مع بعض.
Sees that Nicolas is trying to make his way down that left wing.
خرجوا والله والله خرجوا.
Oh no! And a penalty has been conceded here at the back post. I think Marcelo is the guilty party, and Argentina have the chance from the spot here.
It was a great slide from Marcelo to keep the ball out of the back of the net. I think he made contact with the player as he was making that slide. Eusebio went down.
Ronaldo from the spot then for Argentina. Steps up, straight down the middle. Argentina strike first here, 1-0.
لا اتعادلوا ماتشين وكسبوا ماتش. هم كانوا محتاجين يكسبوا ماتشين بس هم تعادلوا 2 وكسبوا ماتش.
Difficult thing for Tom now is Nicolas is one of these players when he gets a lead he knows how to keep a lead.
كسبوا ماتش
Very
الزوجي.
good at keeping the ball away from his opponent, depriving his opponent of that possession. So that's something Tom needs to be aware of and try and maybe counter-attack if Nicolas does start to play a possession game.
That goal then just on the stroke of half-time as well. Perfect timing for Argentina and Argentinian fans at home. Is there a chance here for England to maybe create a chance right at the end of this first half? Ronaldo, back to Vieira. Working the ball between the two central defensive midfielders here. Ronaldo turns onto his left. Great tackle though for Nicolas and Argentina. And at the break here, it will be Argentina 1, England 0.
Nicolas staying very close to Tom defensively, not allowing those turns to get around any of his centre-backs and present him with any sort of opportunity to get a shot away on goal. And you've got to remember, both these teams very familiar with this format. Both Nicolas and Tekkz from England, they were partners at the E-Club World Cup when they won the tournament together, but now they meet as rivals in the eNations Cup. It's Nicolas who has to go up first to take on Tom. You mentioned it at the start. Tom is the underdog here, 113th in the world at the moment. Will soar up the leaderboards after his performance in the eNations so far. But even if he could just secure a point and give Tekkz the chance to sort out a win and send England through to the semi-finals, I'm sure Tom would be happy.
بص اللي تأهلوا بقى دلوقتي انجلترا والارجنتين اللي انت بتشوفهم بيلعبوا مع بعض دول، والمكسيك والدنمارك، والبرازيل هتلاعب فرنسا اللي هي اتأهلت بدل السعودية، والبرتغال هتلاعب اسبانيا. هم الثمان فرق دول.
Example of how seriously this second half has to be taken by both of these players, because getting a win on the board here, remember there's no aggregate involved here, so getting a win on the board in game number 1 just sets you up for success.
It also means that you can just throw everything at Argentina if you were in Tom's position later on in this game. Let's say he's still 1-0 down, he doesn't have to think about an aggregate score, he just has to think about securing potentially a point for England. There has been a goal between France and Brazil, and it's white shirts going forward, which means France grab the equaliser here. And who else but Cristiano Ronaldo. Nice little bit of skills on the edge of the box. And Maestro, when he was full of passion yesterday, how he would love to press on with France here.
Well, Nicolas is going straight on the attack here in the second half. Finds it just wide of the target. A little deflection. Takes it behind for a corner here.
الدوسري خسر كام لا هو الدوسري تعادل 5-5 تعادل 1-1 وخالد اتعادل 5-5 وهم كانوا محتاجين يكسبوا. Hello.
Opportunity potentially for Tom Lees on the counter attack, but he can't quite get ahead of the play there, and Nicolas defenders and midfielders will track back and close down that space.
It's one thing that we've always given Nicolas credit for is how good his defensive ability is, how he controls a game, how he manipulates a game to his favour. He'll notice the areas where his opponent is trying to attack, and then he will focus on those areas to ensure that the defenders are covering certain positions. It's going to make it very difficult to Tom to try and break through and get even a shot on goal.
Modric then uses Ramos to send the ball back inside. Nicolas now just testing the player switching and the defending and the focus of Tom Lees for England now. Croqueta from Ronaldo inside the box. Danger here from England. Nicolas is turning, he's twisting, but the shot is blocked just at the last second there. And the score stays at 1-0.
I think Tom will be more than happy as long as it is only a 1-goal difference. As long as he knows he only needs one chance to get back into this game. He's trying to focus on the right wing at the moment, and there's plenty of space out there as well.
Ronaldo then for England. Intercepted that pass by Mbappe. Vieira comes forward once more. Ronaldo, great ball into Neymar here. Takes the finesse shot. Ball falls back to Neymar! And Lady Luck shines on England here. A deflection on the strike. But now tied up a 1-1. England are back in this.
Tom, who was unfortunate with the penalty, has fortune on his side to get the equaliser. I mean, England versus Argentina always been a strange rivalry, but elsewhere, France versus Brazil.
Oh, little mistake. And it's Cristiano Ronaldo who goes through on goal here for France. Ball roll past the goalkeeper, and France come back from 1 down. And Maestro comes back from 1 down to now lead that game 2-1.
Can Tom Lees put himself in the history books for the eNations? Argentina and England developed a rivalry in real football. Though lately, I'd say England had the better over Argentina. 2002, England won 1-0 with a David Beckham penalty. I think everyone will remember the bad times between Argentina and England as well. Is Nicolas going to be one of those bad times for English fans, or can Tom Lees show up here today?
So from the restart then, Nicolas so dangerous. Modric just wanders past his man here in midfield. Hullet into Eusebio. Ramos tries to make the tackle and commits to it. That's left space in behind here for Nicolas. Ronaldo onto his right foot, time for the shot.
Oh no, it's
another penalty.
Tom Lees cannot catch a break at the moment. One of the players making too much contact. And Nicolas has been rewarded another goal, another penalty, sorry, which could be a goal. Went down the middle last time.
Argentina versus England, goes bottom left, and Tom Lees makes the save for England.
You know what I'm going to say, Mark? Statistically, most players go bottom left. And Tom Lees had the read on that one. Another goal, but this time between Mexico and Denmark. Mexico had a fantastic day one. Looks like they go behind here to Denmark.
Ooh.
And what a start that is for Marcuso and Houston, who may be underdogs to potentially win the whole thing, I'd say. We need to keep that team in contention for this.
I think at the moment, anyone who's left in the tournament has the potential to become the first ever eNations champion. And there's another goal for France here, and Maestro is rolling.
Let's go!
Let's go! And you can see him get a little bit louder now, because he knows he's getting closer to putting that win on the board here for France.
And you didn't see it on camera, but he was doing his signature Mbappe celebration yet again. It seems to be giving him good luck in every tournament he plays in at the moment. And England-Argentina still tied up 1-1 after a save from England from the spot again. Tom Lees just needs to be very careful in and around the box when he is diving in, when he is trying to win that ball back from Nicolas, because Nicolas is very tricky. Likes to twist, likes to turn. He will be trying to draw those penalties out of England.
So changes in personnel then. Fresh legs out wide. 20 minutes left in this game. Is there going to be a winner? In regulation time, Maldini's trying to come across to deal with Neymar. Just bullies him off the ball, but the Brazilian wins it back here. Nicolas is inside the box. Croqueta well read there by Tom Lees, and the ball deflects behind for a corner. The danger still not clear.
At least the England players were tackling themselves this time rather than giving away a penalty, so Tom will at least be relieved by that factor. From the corner though, Nicolas very dangerous.
Ball in towards that front post. Ronaldo gets up to head away. Neymar will get a chest on that one. Hullet will be able to recycle possession here for England. Ramos with the big switch of the play across to Marcelo. 15 minutes left in this game, and there's been another goal here in the Brazil-France match. And again, Maestro. He's just in such a great run of form at the moment. 4-1 now to France, and he's off. He's gone.
He's putting Tekkz in such a fantastic position in his game on the Xbox. And now with only 15 minutes left in this one, this is where it starts to come into a situation of, does Tom just stick out for a draw and say, look, if I draw here, then Tekkz wins his game, England are through to the semi-finals? Or does he go that one step further and say, I don't want to put that pressure on Tekkz, I can get this victory here, I've had more possession, I've had more attacks, I'm just going to go for it.
We'll have to see how this one turns out. Ramos has a little bit of space to attack here in front of him. Ball inside here to R9 in a pocket of space himself. Tom Lee's constructing an attack here, and look at the space here for Mbappe. Goes round the long way, goes across goal. Can't find the finish, can Neymar? No, he cannot, and Nicolas survives.
Deep breath for Tom as well. He knew how close he was to taking the lead there, but he keeps his composure, takes the ball back, and regains control of possession.
Well, ricochets into no man's land here, and Varane's going to have to get back and do a little bit of defending. Big chance that, though, for England. Big chance that for Tom Lees, and Mbappe now is away down the left-hand side, puts it in early. Just a little bit too much on that one.
5 minutes left, but elsewhere there's been action. Portugal were 2-0 up against Spain, but Spain brought one back with Eusebio with 8 minutes to go on the PlayStation. It's Rastarata, a player who's usually very good at holding on to those leads. Can he hold on right to the 90th minute?
Ronaldinho introduced here in the cam position for Tom Lees. Interesting to see if Nicolas has made any changes as well. We'll keep our eye on that. See if there's any impact substitutes coming off the bench that could potentially win this PlayStation 4 leg of the quarter-final. Portugal-Spain now tied up at 2-2 after we saw that first goal. Spain are right back into that.
What a comeback in the final 8 minutes from Spain. We watched Portugal do it in the group stages, and now they're getting the last-minute goals. Tom regains possession here for England, and every attack is going to be dangerous now. It's always going to be more nerve-wracking in the dying moments of any game of FIFA.
Here come England then. Down this right-hand side, Ronaldo will use Ramos once more. Referee playing an advantage here. Vieira finds the ball back to Cristiano Ronaldo. Here are the fresh legs of Ronaldinho. Looking to burst past the centre-back there. Well, they should win that header, but the ball does fall down. And possession in stoppage time at the end of this game is in the hands of England. Ronaldinho into Ronaldo. Mbappe looks towards the back post. There's the man there!
What a save from
De Gea somehow claws it out.
And Tom Lees has given it one hell of an effort, but it turns out as a draw between England and Argentina. You've got to say, job done from Tom Lees, from the best PS4 player in the world of Nicolas. He's managed to secure 1 point for England, and now puts it on Tekkz. If Tekkz...
No reaction there from Tekkz. He knows he's got a job to do. It's only a lead. It's not 3 points.
خرجوا.
And he has put France within striking distance now of a semi-final place.
Well, can we see Tekkz get back into this? Tekkz, who has always reached a semi-final in every competition so far this season.
Record up. Great tackle there from Yago. If you're wondering how the
لو كسب المباراة ديت هيتأهل.
Of your screen as well as it scrolls by, but
لسه ده ربع النهائي.
That 45 minutes flew by.
بس هو حاليا خسران واحد اهو.
45 minutes away here from booking themselves a spot in the semi-final and sending England home.
Of course, because points is going to come into the equation for many of these quarter-finals, I'm sure, but slightly simplified with Argentina versus England. It's just winner go through between Tekkz and Yago. However, if Tekkz were to equalise, then we would go to a 2v2 if it were a draw. And Tekkz is used to being behind. I will say that. In the majority of his games in recent competitions, he goes a goal down, sometimes 2 goals down, and then always seems to get back into it. Can he do it with 3 lions on his shirt?
Also, the only problem is he's only got 45 minutes in game to do so. And Argentina, I don't want to say they've got 1 foot in the semi-finals at the moment, but they've certainly got a pinky toe.
Small discussions between these two. But if you're wondering how the knockout stages work, just watch this.
Each knockout game consists of a 1v1 leg on each console, but aggregate scores have no bearing on the result, as each leg is worth 3 points for a win, 1 point for a draw, and 0 points for a loss. If after 2 legs these points are tied, a third deciding 2v2 game will be played.
So that's exactly how the knockouts are going to work, and we're back into the action now. Tekkz on the attack here for England, 1 down. Ball falls to Mbappe. To dig the ball into the box there to find R9, and Yago could come away with possession now. Game management going to be a huge factor now for Yago, because he wins this game, Argentina are through. No need for the 2v2. Tekkz has got to be the aggressor. And winning the ball back high up the pitch might be the opportunity to find a pass, to create that chance, but there has been a goal here in Portugal-Spain.
Portugal versus Spain, and it looks like Spain going forward. Neymar on the left-hand side, and it's Ronaldo with the back post, but not with his head. With a volley, but Portugal answered back very quickly. 3 goals in the opening 12 minutes in that matchup. Portugal really showing what they're made of, Mark.
Portugal, after their last gasp heroics to make it out of the group stages and end up top, they're looking good. But one team that's looking incredible right now is Argentina. And what a performance this has been from Yago. That's how much it means at this stage. England on the verge of being knocked out the tournament.
And we've seen that scream from Yago before in 1v1 competitions, the amount of passion that builds up inside of him, and he just releases it on the football pitch. Tekkz really does have his back up against the wall now, but we know how scary he can look when he gets aggressive.
Wins the ball back here, R9.
No.
CR7, so the first time shot there on his left foot. Defensive wall very much been put up now, and having the likes of Nicolas behind you right now for Yago must be absolutely invaluable as far as experience in these situations is concerned. And maybe he's just got to look for a third hit.
I mean, Yago's going for the kill at this point. He notices there's slight gaps in the defence of Tekkz, as naturally he's pushed more players forward to try and get the attack, and Yago wants to take advantage of that. Try and pinch a third goal to really put this game to bed and send Argentina through, but here comes Tekkz once again.
Ronaldo been sent on his way. Neymar into Hullet. Croqueta from Tekkz into R9, bullies Varane off the ball, but the ball is just going to fall loose inside the 18-yard box.
حلو. عاش يلا أرجنتين يلا.
Has not fallen for any of their tricks so far that Tekkz has had to offer.
And England, who were without a doubt the best team in the group stages, with how many points they were able to secure in such a tough group as well, are 25 minutes away from being knocked out of the eNations.
Wins it back. Mbappe now inside to R9. Great tackle from Varane.
ابعت فوق.
Now Argentina stride forward themselves. There's space
اشرح
Ronaldo to attack. Digs the ball into
shoot,
the box.
shoot,
into the middle.
shoot. Offside.
I think that might be the killer blow.
Offside.
But the linesman's flag goes up and saves England's blushes.
I think that just gives time for Tekkz just to take a little pause here, have a little mental reset, have a chat with his teammate Tom, and of course the coach behind them as well. Elsewhere though, Portugal and Spain. Portugal still pressing on and showing what they're made of. Tuga, one of the best defensive players around at the moment, with a 2-goal lead, might be doing enough to send them through to the semi-finals.
Now the penalty incident in this game, Denmark against Mexico. Ronaldo just bundled over in the box there. The penalty was given. You can see the reaction of the Mexican players. Not particularly happy, but having stepped up, it was saved. So no goals still in that game.
Very tense moments in all of these quarterfinals, and it's Tekkz now coming forward. He needs a goal for England.
Ronaldo inside the box, little half drag back to create the space for the strike. Save from De Gea, corner here for Tekkz. Ronaldo gets it away. It will fall out of play here. You just feel a goal here for England, for Tekkz. And Iago, he has to start feeling nervous. Modric. Varane will clear back to Hullet. Smart play there for Iago.
Yeah, if Tekkz manages to grab one, that's usually when he builds on momentum and that's when he looks at his best. However, Iago doing very well to contain him at the moment. Speaking of trying to contain a team, France trying to contain Brazil, but they're not able to do so. A nice ball roll from Pelé to equalise for Brazil, and of course Brazil need to win that game. A point wouldn't be enough as France won the opener.
Mexico goal.
Into our other game there, and it was Mexico who made a save from the spot, and they've got up the other end. And they have taken the lead with a thunderbolt in the near post here from Neymar.
And that's another game. Mexico and Denmark, of course, it's winner takes all as they drew the first leg. So as it stands, Mexico would be going through over Denmark. Back to England versus Argentina. What does Tekkz have left in the tank?
15 minutes left. Great interception there from Maldini, and Argentine fans around the world will be celebrating like a goal every single time that Iago manages to get possession back. Because it just means less time for Tekkz to go forward. Less time to create the chances he needs. And Iago here might be looking for the third. Ramos will clear the ball away.
Clears the ball, gets it up pitch. Tekkz needs to win this header, but still possession for Iago, which means he's always posing a threat going forward, always eating away at that clock, and Tekkz just can't get the ball back in the moment. Argentina and Iago have looked incredible.
Ooh, a little bit wasted there by Tekkz, trying to fire the driven pass into the strikers. And Iago, he can almost taste it. Argentina can almost taste it. But Spain, they're not done yet. Neymar forces the save then. From De Gea, back across goal on R9. Will make that just a one-goal game.
One-goal game that
تكس هيخرج يا رجالة.
for Spain would head us towards 2v2 as well. I mean, aside from the France and Brazil game, every other quarter-final was a draw in the first leg, which means they're all winner takes all. And look at the faces of the two English players there with very little time left on their way out of the eNations to Argentina of all teams.
Well, Mexico took the lead in this game, but the through ball has found Neymar here for Denmark. The cricketer inside, and they've tied it up just before half-time here. But speaking of time, it looks like it's run out here for Tekkz. It's run out here for England.
نيكولاس بيضحك
because
ولا ايه؟
Argentina and Iago might have pulled off one heck of a result here.
It would have to be from this attack, really, for Tekkz. You saw how he sat back and lumped in his chair. He's starting to realise now probably isn't coming home. And that's something that I'm sure all English fans are going to be very disappointed about. So there was so much expectations from on these two.
Neymar across to R9. Maybe there is a chance the block comes in, though.
GG يا تكس. GG.
And that is going to be it. Tekkz knows. Iago, you can see him. He's just holding it in at the moment. He looks like he's going to explode with celebration any moment. And there it is. Iago and Argentina will be the first team in our semi-finals.
Nicolas was probably watching, holding his breath, thinking maybe he hadn't done enough, but what a performance from Iago. Not only winning his game, but winning it versus Tekkz, the most informed player of the season so far, the player with the most global series ranking points in the world. England fall, Argentina go through.